Hey, good morning, Michael. Am I not streaming the right one? Yeah, okay, good. Oh, that's the Twitch. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Bitcoin 100K plus. Okay, excellent. Whoo, yeah, we hit 104, 105. What did we hit? 104,000. 104,000 on Bitcoin. I was responding to Randy there. Good morning, Steven. There you are. Hey, good morning. All right, so glad to have you on the stream, my man. And the rates are over there. So in the grand scheme of things, this is what Bitcoin looks like on the daily chart. So it was probably about 2, maybe 3 years ago. So I've been on the ball here with this for the last 3 years. I noticed Bitcoin started to correlate with market, okay, a few years ago. 2.5, 3 years ago. It started to correlate. It didn't quite always do that. And then over the course of the last year, a year and a half after that, I started to notice at times it would lead the market. So for the last year and a half, Bitcoin has been the market's leading indicator for me. Like, I understood, I could see it, and I noticed, and I took note. And you can see that starting on January 1st, 2023, we've just been going up and up and up on Bitcoin, but it's been the same way on the market. But the market's had a different way of expressing it. It's had stronger pullbacks than investors are typically used to. But I could see from Bitcoin's positioning, the way it would not break lower pivots and all that, that the market and everything was actually bullish. And I relied on Bitcoin for that. Crazy as that is. So that was very interesting. So now, anyway, we've got Bitcoin breaking out to new highs above 100K. Now, when that happens, sometimes it looks like that's going to happen here. It's going to happen here. I'm not sure yet. But sometimes it goes two ways. It goes a couple of different ways that can go from there. Sometimes it will burst. Will break out, will burst, like rally. And that usually is a 5, 10, 20, or 25%. Those numbers, you can write them down. Whenever there's a all-time high breakout kind of situation that you've been waiting for a while, it either fakes out and comes back in. That's the second thing that can happen. Or it bursts and goes 5, 10, 20, 25% higher. So the math is really easy on that. So we were either going to 105,000 and then we're going to rest for, a few months, or we're going to 110,000 and we're going to rest a few months, or we're going to 120,000 or 125,000. Now, my guess is that it's going to be one of the stronger of those. That's if it doesn't fake out and tuck back in today. But if it wants to run, I think Bitcoin is very volatile as far as it has really wide range. It might be one of the bigger runs, like 15%. It might go to 115,000 or 120, somewhere in there. What was I going to say about that? But here's the thing. The money is not necessarily to be made in Bitcoin. I'm in Bitcoin on my prop account. I'm up $2,000 on that. But And that's a trade for sure. And I've told you guys, told you guys to get in yesterday into Bitcoin. And I've told you guys before each one of these breakouts and lots of points to get into Bitcoin. So that's a trade in and of itself. But what's really important here is that Bitcoin is the leading indicator of the world's economy. That's what we have. Okay? Like, knock on wood, or however you want to say this, I noticed over the last year and a half that Bitcoin became it led the market. It would lead us. It would lead the market. The market would make its final decision second to Bitcoin making the decision first, right? Like to break out or to run or to have a green day or whatever. But Bitcoin went ahead and did it. And then the market would follow. It would lag. So Bitcoin, you can take it to the bank or whatever. Bitcoin is a leading indicator. Now, the market doesn't have to always obey because it's a lagging indicator now. It's a lagger. The market itself has been a lagger for about a year and a half behind Bitcoin. The market's going to do its thing. Laggards don't necessarily mean lower performance. They just mean behind. So the market could go down today. Like, all kinds of crazy things can go in different orderings when one thing is not in sync with the other. So you can't just go, today's going to be an update on the market. The market could completely sell off while Bitcoin goes up. And that kind of decorrelation could cause investors to panic, and you could have even more sell off. So today could be a red day. So you can't just assume that this is going to be a green day all day on the stock market. Although it could be, okay? It could be, and that could trigger a massive update. It could go either way, you see. So you can't just guess. We don't do any guessing around here. We find proper buy points. We get in. If we can, 90% of the time we try to get cheat entries, so we're getting in before they fly. And it's almost 9 o'clock. Let me boot up the Twitter stream. Hang on, buds. And then we reap the harvest as they sprout. As our seeds sprout, we reap the harvest along the way. So in other words, none of you should really be, there'll be things that we can get in today. There'll be opportunities. We'll find them. I'm sure there will be. There could be a lot. We'll see. But what I'm saying is that you should already have been in pole position here with all your positions, reaping the harvest. The seeds should have already been in the fertilized ground. The sun just came out, the clouds cleared, right? So, and then there's going to be fruit everywhere. You need to get out there. Today is not a day to plant seeds. It's a day to get out there with your baskets and start picking the fruit. And you're going to hear that on my system when the market opens. You're going to hear bling, bling, bling. But I've had some in pre-market already. But things will also move during the market. They'll pop into position, and I'll get my fills. Why? Because I have like 100 positions. Here, I'll copy and paste them to the group right now so you can see them all, from pilots to triples. But I'm not only max allocated, guys. I'm balls to the wall, filled up to the brim on margin. Like Elon Musk said, let that sink in, But seriously, the writing's been on the wall. Just imagine you had this signal right here. Here's Bitcoin doing this thing. Since back here, what is this date? Since October, Bitcoin told you we are going to go and rally and break out and run and become bullish on the entire in the whole fucking world, right? So that was the time to plant seeds. And now all of our positions have grown, and we're going to be able to take the harvest, sell it, take that money, buy some more seeds, and plant more seeds. That's great. Yeah, we're going to do it. But I'm also stressing the importance here of preparation and understanding that you need to, the time to be taking advantage of a bull market is not when it's up and running and signaling everywhere. It's before that. It's when it's boring. When the market is boring, but it's positioned properly, like in this whole region here from October back until March, this was the region of investing your money. And then, we've been able to roll things into other things and continue to rotate our profits into new positions and stuff. But I mean, this was boring allocation time, because look at that though. I mean, if you don't understand it, this is a high type flag. Bitcoin went like this and the market did too. Okay. So I mean, like, I'm talking about everything when I'm talking about Bitcoin. It's the leading indicator. So it so clearly shows you where we are. Like, once Bitcoin breaks down into a bearish trend, we'll be in a bear market. That's not happening. That takes about 3 months to even indicate. So, in the meantime, though, you had this huge run, which says bullish. Then you had a pretty light pullback, almost like a 20% pullback in the formation of a high type flag. And so that's all bullish. That's all positioning. I know it takes patience, but you got to have patience. And then now it's been running. And I've even given you these signals. Like this one is just like a normal recent signal. I told you about this high type flag here. And so you could get in here for a little move. Then it moves up. You take some profits. It moves down. You cut out. We get ourselves another high type flag up here. There's VCP tightening. If you've been taking my master classes, you can see that. You get in today, right now, or you even get in. I've told you in our master classes how to get in cheat entries, like our signal yesterday, with a stop at 94,000. And here we are, 93,000, whatever that is. And here we are. But that's Bitcoin. When I say get in, it's also just as an indicator, like to get into the market, to get into positions. So let's take a look. Some of the leading into things that are going on is Riot. Like, so, I've been getting into Riot a couple of times. I'm in a snowballed position on Riot. We've been getting into that. But believe it or not, Riot's not the best of the bunch. It was MSTR. Let me see how MSTR is doing. I'm not in it. Probably should be. Well, MSTR kind of got in alignment with Riot. They all got a little bit more conservative, but Riot was not as good of a performer as MSTR. And there's a lot of other Bitcoin-related stocks. And Joe was mentioning that Hood is way up this morning. Well, guess what? I'm in I think a snowballed position on Hood. Let me see. It's not quite snowballed yet. You know why? Because it hasn't let me in a second time. I haven't been able to get a second position. Or hold on. Never mind. It's a tripled up position. It's not only a doubled up position. It's not only a snowball. It's one of my 6 most snowballed positions is Hood, Robinhood. So there's a reason that happens. I don't guess at this stuff. The system takes care of itself. The snowballing is just a process. You definitely have this like maybe 15 to 20% wide window of subjectability in it, where you have to discretionarily make a decision whether or not to stay conservative and keep things the way they are, or to add in that moment and raise the stop. Because if you're going to add, it's not about adding. If you add, it's because you were able to raise the stop. When you learn my system here, if you haven't learned it yet, when you add, it's because you can raise the stop. So if you can raise the stop, though, you have to say to yourself, do I really want to raise the stop? Because you don't understand. Wisdom, like I've said many times before, is knowing what not to do. And how can you know what not to do if you don't really know what can happen? And so the reason why you don't just start ratcheting up your stop like a fucking, what is the word? Like a Yahoo or something, is because you want to keep your positions maybe for a long time. Like I would like my snowball on hood, ideally, or any of these positions, to last a year and a half. They would snowball. They would probably have 5, 7, 10, 12 entries in that time. Every time you snowball a position, it has the opportunity for geometric proportioning. So you can imagine if you started with $100 of risk there, and you started snowballing your profits into a zero risk multiplying position that you keep reaping harvest from, and it's geometrically growing, if you can keep it and not put your stop up too high, not get too what is the word? Too excited to raise your stops all over the place, so you give it some breathing room, so you can stay in for a year and a half for the full run. Then that position could get massive, and the reaping of the 50% of a massive position going up to 2 to 1 on multiple scalings, 10 exits, for example, on a snowballed avalanche of a position, just the skimming on that, would be the largest your account's seen in a long time. It's a lot more money than you well, you probably imagine a lot, but a lot more money than you would think. And you might only be able to have 1, 2, 3, or 4 positions at that time. Well, if that's the case, then that's where you should be. It's automatic. The system automatically guides you properly. So if the market is a runaway market, there's going to be those add-on points in the snowballing happening. And if it keeps going, it's going to keep happening. And if it's enlarging you and concentrating you into the winners and the super winners, and they become super winners, then that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's designed to mechanize you right into those. So a good stock is going to self-direct you into it. And that's what I've done here. That's why my Robinhood position, and it's one of the ones that, like, look at Riot. It's just not at a new high. It's halfway up off of a recent high that it slid down from, where if you go over to Hood, and Riot is not a tripled up position, but I think it is a doubled up position in my portfolio, but it's not a tripled up position, but Robinhood is. And that's not because I guessed. I didn't guess at anything. It took me there. It automatically sized me up into it, and it's going to keep going, and those profits are going to just rain down from itself, from its own reasoning. Isn't that crazy? So, but I have to say, it's been 25 years of work, 23, 24, 25 years of work, putting all these moving parts together. It's like the inventor of like the Ferrari, and then there comes the Lamborghini, right? And then it takes some life skill and some life experience and some knowledge and some prior excellence to then go, oh, you know what? Like, I'm never going to be, you can see that about me maybe, I'm never going to be devoid of ideas. Like, my brain is never going to go flat in that respect. I have creativity. That's something I have, and I used to apply that in music. But on the markets, you can be creative too. And I have put together this system, not just haphazardly or guessing at it. I did the math. And it comes from everything I know about how stocks move and where things go and how the markets move and how long a bull market lasts and how long a bear market lasts. So pretty cool shit, working like gangbusters. And let's take a look under the hood now. We've got 18 minutes until the market opens. If you have any questions, let me know. Anything you want me to look at, let me know. But let's take a look under the hood. on what could be hot today. We've got one called RKDA. Let's just look for a couple of possible day trade opportunities because, again, 2, 3, 4 times a year, we do have some insane. They're beyond supernovas. I don't even know what you call them. These stocks that have this one day where they go up 1,000%, like HKD, went from $10 to $2,000, $2,500, I think, in like 3 days. So, we keep an eye on. So here's one that's 260. It started at 260 and it popped and moved so far 246%. 246% this morning. And if you look at the volume signatures, that's the important part for the day trading and even for swing trading. Look at those volumes. How are the red candles compared to the green? You can see that we're at almost a 5-to-1 demand over supply differential on RKDA. This is insane. This is incredible. This is great. This is actually one of the better moves and opportunities we've seen in a long time. What I want to check now is dilution. What are we getting ourselves into here? How often do they dilute? So looking back, they did have one 60% dilution and one 40% dilution. But it's only so that's about 100%. It's only there's a 40% and a 25 and a 15, so that added up again to almost 100. They do about 100% dilution every 2 years. And actually, it looks like we're due. Like right around now. So we would have to be careful thinking about holding this as a swing RKDA. So we probably would not. This is a penny stock, small cap however that we could day trade. So I'm going to put that up on the radar, RKDA, and I'm going to put it up here as stocks to watch that we're watching today. And let's go to the next opportunity. It's not quite the right moment to get in RKDA, but it could really be around 870 with a stop at 670, so 100 shares for $100 of risk, dollar of risk on RKDA. That could happen. Let's see. So the next opportunity down here. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'll let you know if I'm getting into that as a day trade. Tara. Wow. This one just will not stop going up. Wow. And also it has a pretty excellent demand over supply ratio going on there. Whew, and it is flying. We've already missed the boat on this rally that's in right now. But be a pullback trader. Don't ever jump on when it's moving. Just say, not for me. Just be a pullback trader and be proud of it. Okay? There's many ways to go in life. Be a pullback trader. Be that way. You'll be able to get the cheat entries. Don't worry. Don't chase. Don't chase. On rare occasion, it might be right, but you'd have to be a pullback trader first to know when that is. You have to be a seasoned veteran pullback trader first. All right, so Tara, we're definitely watching. Tara is also quite hot, looking great. And what's the total move on that? 330. Let's see, it might have moved even. Yesterday, it made quite a big move, but from yesterday's close, we're now up 137% the next day here. So this Tara is really moving. Now, Michael, you should have found that and showed us yesterday. That was a nice catalyst day, big move. We should have noticed that. What'd you say? Yeah, pull out, pull back. Yeah, be a pull out trader. Yeah. Tara PRFX is another one. Okay, see now here on PRFX, just from a pivot point standpoint, not even examining the buy and sell supply, but from a pivot point standpoint, you can already see it's broken down. It's broken down on its move. It's now in a 4-point downtrend off of its move. So for that, we have to wait for a VCP entry. So we wouldn't be taking anything there on PRFX except maybe midday, or we'll have to see how that shapes up. PRFX. BJDX up 73%. Let's just see. See, sometimes, just because something's up 73%, and let's say we had a cutoff of 100%, doesn't mean you shouldn't look at it, because you could look at it and see, oh, it was up 300%, and then it pulled back now to 70%. You see, so you got to look at it, because we need to know what is the magnitude of this. Magnitude is most important. From yesterday's close, the magnitude of this move was 150%. So see, this kind of qualifies to us as something interesting for day trading. Again, this is for day trading picks in the morning. We never want to miss a potential incredible day trade. Okay, that's just kind of goes with territory. But we're working our way down from these insane things to some things that'll be a little bit more sane. We're working our way down. SVMH. All right, see, this one we don't like at all. It only had a single move. It didn't have follow through. It only had a single move, 164%. But it's meaningless to us because it only had a single move, and it's down almost 80% from there in multiple pullbacks, and it's had fits and rages of trying to do something, and it just can't do it. That's a terrible. We don't even watch it. We don't even put it up here on stocks to watch. It's shit. So you got to understand the difference between how those things look. MeG. Oh, this is, I don't know. It bounced off. It's a dead cat bounce. We don't play dead cat bounces. We get in stocks that go up. PBM. Nope. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm going really fast, but, move, gave it all back into that 4-point downtrend. Forget it. And Knox. I'm still watching RKDA and of course Tara. We missed it and it looked really great too. That's the winner so far pre-market. But RKDA has been pulling back. This May, it's still hasn't broken pivots, and so therefore it could still come up and over this 8 EMA. We have the 21 in the 8 system. Remember, we had some classes about that. And we have the 5 different ways that stocks move in pre-market, momentum movers like that. And this one's still kind of in play for a potential just green over red entry coming up soon here on RKDA. If we do end up getting in, let's say, 770 instead of 870 with a stop at 670, then that's $1 of risk. Actually, before we had 870, it was $2 of risk. And it's amazing nobody corrected me. Well, I was talking about getting in at 870 on RKDA, and I said the stop is 670 down here. And I said that was $1 of risk. Nobody stopped me. Let's say that again. I was talking about getting in at 870. The stop was at 670. And I said that was $1 of risk. You guys, you should be on the ball. You need to drink your coffee. I don't understand. But it's not like anything like this is where you need to be sharp with your math is going to happen midday. It's, everything happens at the beginning of the day, and then maybe at the end of the day you have some things, but you can be a little bit more slow motion. Where you need to be on the ball is in the morning here. So none of you caught that. Obviously neither did I. But watch out. STSS. So this one, NOx, yeah, I don't like the way that's moving too much. I'm going to do a quick analysis of that buy-sell volume because, it did get all the way back up. The magnitude may not be worth it. Let's see. It only had is that a 1 candle push? No, it's a 2 candle push. Okay. But you can't really trust 2 candles so much because they could have started at the end of one of those candles and could be the equivalent of a 1 candle push. And it only moved 20%, so we don't even care. That's a nothing. Unless it was like, Tesla or something. Obviously 20% is a lot for a Tesla, but it's not a lot for this. I have no idea what fucking company it is, So anyway, no good there. G-Wave. And look at Tara. Holy moly. When we started looking at it, it was at like 8. It just hit almost 12. I would have liked to have seen it earlier. It definitely would have qualified, and we would have gotten in probably around 590, maybe 570, somewhere in there. But let's just call it $6. You would have doubled your money already in about 1 hour. G-Wave, no. All right, now moving down others that could be bigger caps. VRNT. Variant systems, and this is what kind of interestingly volatile and yet somewhat pegged at 31. It's an earnings release. Okay, now it's an earnings release which didn't really set it into new territory. It only reversed the recent drop, so that'll probably keep it sideways for a while, so we won't be playing that. Capper. Dead cat bounce, not interested. BTCT, this is Bitcoin related, I believe. Bitcoin digital, yeah, this one's up, obviously, it makes sense. And look, it has that similar to Riot and MSTR, has that same pullback and VCP tightening and cheat entry kind of quality to it as Bitcoin, as all the other ones. Riot, see if I go to Riot, you'll see that down here on the daily chart. Same thing. Big move, half pullback, back and forth, VCP tightening, and entry. Same everywhere. MSTR, big move, almost halfway pulled back and forth, VCP tightening, and entry. It's there on all of them. All right, so anyway, interesting to illustrate. BTDR. Pre-market is, so we are from the close of yesterday, we are up 12% on BTDR, BitDeer Technologies. Okay, so this is a Bitcoin related one as well, and this one looks really strong. Like, look at this. This one in relative strength terms is in much better positioning, pole positioning, than those other ones, BTCT, MSTR, Riot. So BTDR is probably 3 times higher relative strength than all those other ones, including Bitcoin itself. So I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something really great that nobody else is doing, I guess. Self-mined 150 Bitcoins. It's just a mining company. So what? Why are they doing any better than anybody else? Generates income through its proprietary mining data centers, headquartered in Singapore. You know, Singapore is really fucking vulnerable. Singapore, by the way, did you know this? Singapore is smaller. Singapore, the country, is smaller than Manhattan. So, not too safe to be investing in companies there should there ever be any kind of geopolitical tensions. I mean, that does not, unless they've drilled holes into the earth and got all their data centers highly protected against an invasion or any kind of political stress or distress, I would not really put too much capital or faith into anything in Singapore, regardless of how beautiful it is and how well they've constructed their manufactured paradise. I would worry highly about setting money up over there, and that could be in the form of investing in companies that are headquartered in Singapore as well. So these are the kinds of things you got to think about. So let's see. We're down to the smaller gain ones because that was 12%. BTCR, KC, SOS, CHPT, SMLR were in that. KULR, BTCM, MSTR. I was talking about that. CAN, BKKT. All those are up like 7% to 12%. So it's a really tall list this morning. Robinhood's up 7%. American Airlines is up 6%. Riot's up 6%. These are some of the bigger movers this morning. CLSK, I think that's Bitcoin related. It's up 5% this morning. So let's see what comes up here right at the open. Things are looking good. I will probably be taking profits in my prop account as well on things. So I got some gains to take profits on over there as well. Ah, okay. They fixed a little problem they were having. It's like, yeah, okay. Now my question is, what's the goal over there? Oh, profit target 5,000. Okay. QS, that's QuantumScape. Did you hear that on the squawk? QS, QuantumScape. I believe no. I think I'm getting it confused with this one other company that Warren Buffett invested in. It wasn't QuantumScape. What was that? Does anybody remember what I'm thinking of? So QuantumScape is up 15% at the moment on some good news apparently. It doesn't quite bottom reversal it though. So by the end of the day though, QuantumScape might be an entry. We'll see. It's not really a growth opportunity. It'd be a catalyst, first time in a long time beginning. Catalysts are like IPOs. Catalyst days on stocks are like IPOs. All right, the market's opening in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Who's ready? Who's ready? I'm going to be going through a lot of take profiting. If there's something to get in, that'll be interesting. And we'll try and find it. But I'm sure I'm going to have my hands full taking a lot of profits this morning. So please talk with me and with each other. Keep each other informed of what you're seeing, because I'm sure some of you might have something, your eyes on something. And don't let it slip away from you. But like I said, we're opening quite elevated here. So we could bleed out all day. There could be a lot. This could be just a profit-taking day on the market. I wouldn't, what is it? I wouldn't blame one for doing that. Something like that. RCAP pulled back from a lot yesterday. Oh, okay. It was doing so well, over 100% gains, and now I'm at only 71% gains. Aw, but I've already reaped my harvest on that a couple times. I'd like to get a snowball going on it. When you get a snowball going on like a GME thing, I mean, that's insane. That's fantastic. Okay, here we go. Market's opening in 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. I might get a couple fills. You hear a bling bling here and there, possibly. Maybe not, but possibly. And then we'll see. There's one. Yep. That was, I got a little bit on TBF or something. What was that? There must be a new position because I don't even remember. TPB. All right. There's the market, by the way. I was just watching it. TPB. Pull it up. Didn't I type it? TPB. No, TPB. I'm saying it right, but I'm not typing it right. Pull it up. TPB. Turning Point Brands. Bring it on up. Okay, I don't know what was wrong there. Yeah, it definitely popped this morning. Look at that just gorgeous effing entry from yesterday. QLGN. Try to type some of the things that we're hearing here. Am I glitching out? I feel like the internet's slow. Can you guys hear me okay? I mean, I'm typing things into TradingView and they're not even coming up. It's kind of weird. We do have some rotation going on here from the open. Some things are going one way, some things are going the other way. I imagine we're seeing value drop and growth go up. Let's see. No, actually, I'm seeing the markets run. SPY value. Really not enough information yet. RKDA. This is one we were looking at potentially getting in this morning. There goes RKDA. Tara. Would need it to pull back and create some kind of an entry on Tara, but Tara is super strong. It moved just now this morning 230%, just like RKDA. Those are both very hot day traders on there. All right, I'm going to check on GoDaddy. And it's actually opening a little bit lower than it closed, so I'm just going to let that be. Microsoft opening where it closed. Meta, Facebook, opening a little bit elevated, but not any higher than yesterday's high. Apple opening at a new high. Apple acting quite strong. I'm going to take another piece out on Apple. I already have it, and we've had some alerts go out as to getting an entry on Apple about a week ago. Hilton's way up. I'm going to take another piece out on that. It's not quite at recent highs, but it's close enough to take a little piece out because it's good movement. Okay, now looking more closely at what we have moving this morning. SMLR, one of my smaller positions, is up from yesterday's close, but pulling back. See, that's what I told you might happen. Just got a exit on Riot. That's so funny. Coincidentally, I was just about to go check on Riot and see how it's doing. And yes, sir, it's doing great. If you wanted to get in, you could potentially put a stop at 1170. I don't think I'll be adding here and raising my stop to 1170. I want to breathe more. I want to keep a nice wide. It's almost like, imagine this. Imagine you want your positions to contain a bowling ball throw. You want to set up your gutters wide enough that it wouldn't go in the gutters. So that's kind of like how you got to think of your stops. You want them to be wide enough that your ball stays in motion, in play. But you don't want them so wide that you watch your golden ball roll into the canal. You know what I'm saying? So you do want it to save the day and get into the safety gutter to catch your gold ball, but you also want it to go as far as possible. And so you need it as wide as possible, but also not so wide that it's not even worth the reward of it potentially going. UMAC is still going. I don't even think I'm still in that, man. I think we got out of that. Well, supposedly I stopped out yesterday, and you should have too. But if you're still in it, good for you. I don't think I'm in that. No, I'm not in that. All right. Let's keep looking at all these things. So that was okay. TPB, that's one that I got some profits on this morning. Yeah, it's definitely flying. Now I'm going to go through my bigger positions. Palantir, that is my biggest position. Palantir, beautiful continuation. Everything looking good. Do I want to raise my stop? No. Riot, beautiful continuation. We're reaping the harvest. Looking good. There is an entry there. You could set your stop to like 1170, as I mentioned before. IREN, this is my third best performer of my larger positions this morning. It is moving along quite swimmingly. Very nice. I wouldn't raise my stop necessarily yet, but it's getting damn close. Let me think about it for a second. It's quite volatile last week. I think I just wanted to put in some more. I'm going to go to my mega position, so AAOI. Yeah, this one's doing fine. APP. Yeah, hanging on out up there, looking good. CDXC. Pulling back a little bit. And then we've got Hood. Hood opened, gapped up quite high. Too high. Everyone's taking profits, kind of like I mentioned. And it's pulled back still above where it closed yesterday. IJIC. And I've taken profits automatically. Those were set as part of the 2-to-1. 50% 2-to-1 partials. IJIC looking good. This is a wonderful base that is starting to form up here at this level. Prices got high, and it's going to take some time to attract buyers again. So it's going to rest. That's what you need. That creates a base, and then we'll be able to get in for the next run in a few weeks. Marvell. And Marvell is another one. So those are my massive snowballs. Now continuing to go down my other snowballs. Tesla. All right, that's a breakout on Tesla that I might raise my stop on. thinking about it for a second here. And that's an entry, by the way, for you guys. If you don't have Tesla, stop at 326. And that's for me too. I got to go in my, I'm going to do that one in the prop account. Tesla. There you are. And I want $25,000 of allocation. Boom. Okay. Got the Tesla there. And I want to put my stop on that Tesla underneath 326. Okay. I see it. Set my stop. This is how that looks, by the way. I could show you some of that for you guys interested in the prop stuff. And then you click stop loss, and then you can pull your stop down to where you want it. I want it below that level right there, 2650. So 2640, and now my stop's set. All right, that's what that looks like. FOXX, let's take a look at that. I don't know, it's something coming across the squawk. But first, no, I mean, let's take a look at Fox on the day trader. See what's going on with that. Nah, it's halted down, as a matter of fact. So Tesla, now I want to add to my Tesla and raise my stop to 326.50. Was it 326.50? Yeah. So I only have 4 shares at the moment, but it's been building up. It's a snowball position. We're going to snowball it more now. What I want to do is I want to get $100 of risk set up to 326.50. If I add 1 share, I know I can add 1 share. So let's just get that math going. Let's buy 1. $343.40. So I have 5 shares at $343.40 with a stop at $343.40.05 with a stop at $326.50 is what we said. That's $16.90. 16.905 of risk per share times 5 shares is $85. So I'm just cowboying this, but that means I could probably buy 1 more share. So I will do that now. I'm going to buy 1 more share. It's going to raise my average up a little bit more, and I'll have 6 shares. What I'm trying to do is increase my position size without increasing my risk. I'll still be at $100 of risk, and I did that by raising the stop. So now my cost average is 347.2175 times 6 shares. No, I don't even need to do that. Do I? What am I doing here? Oh, yeah, minus the stop of 326.50, 20.7175. Multiply that by 6 shares, and we get, I got to put it in parentheses, order of operations, $124 of risk. So I got to stop there, so you see, and I would actually lose $125. But now I have a larger position. I'm going to cancel all the orders that are on the books, and I'm going to re-annotate everything to my new position. The new position's average is 347.27, so I put that in here. Right there, 347.27. And I raised my stop at that moment to the bottom of that level right there, which I will indicate right here, 326.50. I wish there was a way to connect these lines and stuff. That'd be really cool. That'd be perfect, because then I could show I'm raising my stop every time from here to here and now here to here. But it's all good. There goes Tesla some more. So now what you got to do, first of all, I'm going to indicate that I added 2 shares. Right about there. Now what you got to do is you got to move your 2 to 1. You got to set up all your exits. Sure, Michael, all you guys, you just see me do this enough times now, I'm hoping, that you're getting the process down. I mean, you can take notes. So you set it to your new entry, not your new cost average, your new entry area. And you set up a 2 to 1, and you can do that by math, or you can do it with like that little tool that I just used that's on TradingView. And that tells me that my 2 to 1 target is about 454. And that's from here, 369. So 454 minus 369 is $85 of upside. I'm going to be able to take 3 exits. That's 50% of my 6 shares of 1 share each. So I need 85 divided by 3. I need to put an exit every $28. From 369 plus 28, that's 397. So I'm going to put 1 at 397. This is the process. 397. I'll put it right on the button. Why not? And then plus another 28 for my next one. 425. This 2-to-1 thing with the distance from entry to your risk level, it's very clever because it automatically scales things to recent volatility. Your stop and your entry dictates a risk volatility range, and that multiplied by 2 becomes a plausible take profit range, especially on anything bullish. It's not even that crazy. So the fact that Tesla could be at 460, whatever it was, in a few weeks, you might say 465, that's so high, it's only at 370. Welcome to the world of the fucking stock market, my friends. So now that was at 425, and my final exit will be at 453. 453, 452, 73. Perfect. Now I put my stop for the other half of the position. That's 3 shares in this case. This is a triple snowballed position at 326, whatever it was. And I believe that'll be negative $125 because we did the math on it, $120. 326, 325, 73, yeah, it's $128. And 326, no, 326.23 because it's actually 326.50. And that'd be $125 on the downside. So that's just because there's in partial shares. I should have 5.75 shares. Are these swing trades? Yes, but we're also watching Tara, RKDA, PRFX, and Blowjob DX for a day trade. Yeah. So we did. We're in the Stephen just looking. BJDX is what it is. Okay, we are barely getting started here, guys. Let's keep running down everything. And I think the market is doing what I said. Let me see. Yeah, the market is sort of selling off. It's exactly doing what I said. We're highly elevated, and there's a bit of take profiting going on. But Bitcoin, it wants to lead. That's what I told you. I said it's possible that Bitcoin will probably run, and the market itself might be red on the day. Or any variety of possibilities. But that was one that we talked about. So moving down the list, we looked at Riot. Do we need to add or raise our stop? You could raise your stop to 1170, but look, it's red today now anyway. It's pulling back and taking people are taking profits on it. It's selling off in the higher price. So that means on a whole, between demand and supply, nobody agrees that Riot's worth more than 1330 right now, around 13. It's still balancing on this fulcrum of $13, and probably a lot of those Bitcoin ones are BTCT having a similar, outlook. By the way, let's get some of this BTCT. Let's put a stop down here at 1180. 1820 minus 1180. 640, $100 a risk divided by 640 per share, 16 shares. BTCT, 16 shares, give them to me. UICN is moving again today? Down or up? Yeah, dead cat bouncing. Not interested. All right, let's get a fill on this one. BTCT. Oh, what were you saying, Randy? You have been glitching. Oh, you have been glitching all morning. Thought it was me. Screen goes blurry every 5 days. Really? Okay. But I think it's smoother now, right? Anyway, let's get this fill. 16. Fucker. The bid price is really moving up. Okay, good. 1836. All right, so I'm going to notate that 1836 break even. And a stop at, did I say 12 something or other? 1180. This is why it's important to set this up now, and so you're not figuring it out later. What was this stop? Was it 12? Or it's exactly 1180. All right, and now we set up our 2-to-1 exits on half of our position. So that will be 8 exits. I have 16 shares. Half of that is 8. So I'll set up 8 exits of 1 share each. I had a $100 risk unit, so that's $200 of gain. I'm spreading 8 orders across $200 of gain. So that's every $25 I got to put an order to sell of gain. I can do it that way, or you can do it relative to the stock price, however you want to do the math, or have to do the math. 25, 125, 150, 175, and 200. Okay, that's 8 orders, as you can see here. Then we take the other half and we put it on a stop at our stop level, which was 1280 or something, 1180. Let's see, 1190, 1165 would be fine. Put that stop there. Just a preventative stop. Okay, now I move that BTCT up into my pilot positions. All right, going down the list more though. DJT. Oh man, it just keeps going. So beautiful. What a beautiful cheat entry area that is right there. So you have strong bullish stock. Haphazard chaotic pullback starts to become orderly VCPs. And then you've got basically your first entry right in there. You've got another low cheat entry right there. And now you're reaping harvest. And perhaps when it comes back, you'll have another entry there. And, it's going to work its way up the bull. But everything's going good there. No raising of the stop necessary. Palantir, let's move back to Palantir for a second. Just double check all that. And Tesla. Oh, I need to merge my new Tesla with my old Tesla and then move it over to a tripled up positions. 1 second. Moving down to here. Tesla's moving. I already got to take a little profit on my new Tesla position. Up $500 on that. Okay. Oh, where did you go? The thing refreshed itself. Okay, come on back. Gonna check in on Bitcoin for 1 second. Yeah, I'll take another piece right here. Oh, that's too much. Okay, there we go. And then taking a look at GoDaddy. Yeah, GoDaddy's new highs. I'll take a tiny piece out there. Just got another profit target on TBP, or is it TPB? I think it's TPB. Yeah, see how that's going? I kept an alert up here, but I can just put that way over here. Who got into TPB with me yesterday? Taking another partial, setting up my full exit on, partial exit rather, on GoDaddy. There we go. All right, Meta is not really popping too strongly yet. It's trying. Let me go take a look at that Meta. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit of a pullback day. Meta, Apple. Yeah, Apple just in up there, and Hilton. So those are some of my prop positions, but I also have a lot of these positions over in the port as well. All right, continuing to run down. We got Berkshire. Okay. Gigal. Fine. GME. GME's going to have earnings in a couple of days. I really would like it to run up and create some padding on my position. That would be nice. IonQ. These are my second largest snowballs. IonQ, moving along. So almost all of these snowballs that we've been going through for me are risk-free and at a profit, and we've already been skimming over and over and over. Geo. GoDaddy, Geo's hitting new highs. Very nice. All of those take profits are set, so they just automatically. The glitching is good, but this blurring is keeping me from seeing. It's been searching for. In the gear icon, you can force it to a higher resolution. By the way. All right, GoDaddy, look at that. Just gorgeous. I'm at a risk-free position on GoDaddy, and it is just going. Carvana, looking great. CNVS, great. AHR, I'm looking for anything that I could raise a stop on, add on. AHR, NRG, fine. NNE, Payo, looking good. Guidewire. Let's see, we got earnings coming up on Guidewire tonight, and I'm elevated. Guidewire, where are you? Guidewire, I'm up 8.5% on that. And one thing you can do right before earnings, if you have a position with some padding like that, you may want to hold. But one thing you could do is you can go to their option chain, and you can check the expected move on the day, on the moment before it's going to happen. Thinkorswim will show you that. It shows, for me, the market maker move is what it's called, is 17.276. You'll find that in the option chain on Thinkorswim. So it shows you the expected one-day move. And if it's the earnings day, which it is today, tonight it's going to happen, then we know it's going to go plus 17 or minus 17. And so you can then say, okay, we're at 206.81 minus 17, whatever that was, 17.303. And that gives us 189.5. My position on that is at 190. So it's close enough, 189.5. The expectation to the downside and the upside that my padding of profits covers it, because it's talking about an 8% move to the downside or the upside is what the options are pricing in. And I'm up 8%. So I'm in a perfect position here to hold through earnings, to hold my gains and my risk-free position through earnings. You don't want to hold through earnings if you don't have that padding, because protecting your capital is a big part of this amass system, the snowballing system. That's why we raise our stops to risk-free points and have zero risk positions that we're increasing size on and leveraging up. We're doing that by starting with a very small toe in the water positions, pilot positions, seeds. All right. BTCTA, I set up the stop on that. Yeah, I gotta move that. I did already. Okay. Tesla goes into my tripled up positions. Woohoo. Like that. Very nice. Okay, continuing to go down the list of my doubled up positions: NRG, Geo, NNE, Guidewire, Lunar. It had some kind of a bad news or something the other day. Pulled back, but then 5-minute rule from the open, born from options trading, the technique that I created about 4 years ago. 5-minute rule. Wait the first 5 minutes of the open, then decide to sell if something's opening down on your option, or way up and you got to put whatever it is, because after the open it may go in the direction that helps you recoup. So you give it 5 minutes and then you see what to do. And in this case on Lunar, it reclaimed half of the drop. People want to buy it on the lower prices. So I may have recouped all of that loss just by following the 5-minute open rule technique, in a few days here on that. Payos. These are just like the ways in which you're, 1,001 tips of trading pay off. A-Lab, Captain A-Lab, RDDT, Reddit. It's nearly at all-time highs, looking beautiful. I'm not even in Reddit. in the prop account, but I probably should be. I'm in Reddit here. I probably should be in the prop account, but today's not the day. But I do want to just sort of mentally remember, don't forget to get some Reddit in the prop. Square, doing fine, hanging out at elevated levels. Q2, fine. Prim, yep, hanging out at highs. It's like a high type flag type action. AFRM, doing super from our entry. This is a snowballed position somehow. Yeah, we had an entry here on Catalyst breakout day after earnings. And we had a re-entry with a raise stop here. And that was a very, the idea to raise the stop there comes from a lot of experience. There was a whole bunch going on there. Let me talk about that for 1 second. So we had earnings release here, which were not so good. Well, let me get the exact scenario at night on this day. Okay, so this was earnings day here. And what happened was price opened lower, probably even down here in pre-market, and started working its way up. And then when it opened for market trading, it went down. It went up, and then down, and then up. So off of the earnings release, it actually had kind of a bullish response. That wasn't an entry for us, but just note that. And these higher highs were very interesting, and you could look at them as a level that you would want to buy into if things went well on that earnings release, or that you could have been in already from back here. And the next day, it had a really strong reaction to come back up and over basically those recent highs. So you have to realize just right there, all the reasoning behind here is really informed. We're reclaiming highs and breaking out with strength on AFRM after earnings. But you have to say, but the earnings release was negative. Yeah, it went down. That's true. But the next day, it was positive. So essentially what happened was analysts finally got all of the sense of the thing, and it was the next day that it started to move. And reclaiming anything is a strong signal. So it meant to me that this was the true ER release signal, was this breakout. It was this day. And so for me, that means the stop is placed at the NLB, the never look back low, at that moment. So I did. We got in right here on that day and put our stop down there. A couple days went by. Now here's where it got smart. It started to move up, and we entered and got some more on this day and raised our stop. The reason is because this was the earnings release catalyst day, and then rebreakout catalyst day continuations usually are very bullish, and you don't return to that level either. So it could have did this, but it was probably not going to do this. Break that level. And so you just have to kind of know that. And so that's why it was wise and not stupid to raise the stop there during a rally. Because like you've heard me say a million times, don't raise your stop during a rally in a swing trade. Raise it when there's a base and we break out of a base. So like, this is kind of a bullish base. So like here, and this could be your stop in that situation. But here you would normally not raise your stop to this pivot low. Right here, normally you would not, because it's in a rally, And it could be something that goes like this, and then it starts to base from there. And you would want to still be in on your position if it's a bullish stock, and there's no reason for it to turn around. It's just going through a resting period, a consolidation period, and you would be able to stay in underneath that stop. But this was a different situation because that particular day right here was a catalyst day, a huge change on ER. It was, you have to kind of like pretend you don't see all this. Can you imagine that? Just black that out in your mind, all this stuff. And that all you're working with is this new IPO. When you have a huge, strong catalyst reclaim breakout on catalyst, ER, it's a change. It's not things as usual. It's a change. And so when we rebroke that high, that's why I was able to raise that high. Probably I could explain it better in a class. But that was definitely an advanced override of the don't raise your stop during a rally rule. All right, we just got to fill on something. Let me check what that was. Let's go check out what that was. Oh, it got stopped out of CDXC. Oh, that sucks. Let's go take a look. Yeah. All right. I'm going to stop all out of it. That's too bad because that was one of my tripled up positions. I'm still up on the day. So all in all, that's just the way things go. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hold on. Let me look at, it's already reclaiming quite quickly. Let me look at the daily chart on that. Maybe that was just a blip. It was kind of just a blip. Let's watch it for a second and see if it just reclaims the blip or if it's going to follow through. Because if it starts reclaiming, I'll just keep the half for a little while and see where it goes from there. But it did hit my stop at 699. Just now. But it found some support and demand. All right, I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Let's look at like Palantir. Whoops, oh, that's interesting. Message retracted. What did you say? That's funny. How long should it take for a new trader? Okay, hold on. Something about the 1080p. Apparently, Randy says, apparently Twitch resolution is switched to auto when I sign in. Manually changed res from 1080 from auto, and now it's all good. Okay, good. So I steered you in the right direction. So maybe the stream is working just fine. Now, Uberfish says, how long should it take for a new trader to reach a similar level of understanding as you of charting, buy, sell points, news sources, and anything else related to your experience? Okay, so take a new trader. I would say with a mentor of a lot of experience, 20 plus years of experience, 10 at least. Stephen Harlow says 100 years, but no, here's the truth. And Stephen, I don't think Stephen has taken 10 private lessons with me. I'm not sure about that, but here's the real honest goodness. He says 100 years, but here it is. Well, my private lessons are 1 hour, and this is what I charge. But any mentor, you need a mentor. You've got to learn from their experience so that you don't have to learn and experience everything. They had to spend all that time learning and experiencing. So the mentor is how you stand on the shoulders of greatness and reach even, new levels much more quickly. You got to get a mentor. Now, I myself, I have private lessons. We have a group. I have a lot of things I can help you with. I have a $7 a week repository of master classes you can go through. There's all different levels of how deeply you want to jump in to all this. But I will say this. I teach private lessons. They're $100 an hour. I can teach anyone like a new trader, right? I can teach anyone the true ins and outs of the entire whole thing, get you understanding everything you need to know in order to perform a trading system. That's a strategy plus managing your portfolio. That's a system. So it's more than just a strategy for a single position. It's a whole system, combining positions, the whole kit and caboodle. and understanding charts and how to read them and factors that are out there. Probably minimum 6 lessons, 6 of those classes. But to really, like check in on you, almost like, you're doing your homework, you're practicing, make sure you're absorbing the content, comprehending it, and are mastering it. Probably 7, 8, 9, 10 private lessons would do it. So $1,000, 10 lessons, $100 per 1 hour lesson, and they're intense. You'd be taking notes, and you get a recording of that. You get to record them for yourself, and then you would be understanding and knowing all of the moving parts and factors that you need to know, and you'd have a handle on it because I check on you. Like we'd spend a little bit of time making sure you absorbed, understood, and comprehended prior knowledge that I gave you, and then I would keep giving you more knowledge, and that would keep going until finally maybe the last 2 or 3 classes would be re-review and maybe some finesse tips, little teeny things like, oh, by the way, you could add this to your thing, just to make yourself a little bit more advanced, and you could think about that, and yet you have all these other things, but you have to put it into practice. And so that's why it's not just going to all be, we couldn't have, for example, one 10-hour day and you learn everything. I could do it, I could teach it, but you wouldn't learn it. It's not possible. You have to go and apply what you've learned, and that can be on paper trading or simulated trading. That's fine. And then we have to stack information on top of that again the next day or whatever that is, the next session, and then review some and then teach more and then rinse and repeat and do it again and apply and practice. And it all starts to work. I've been teaching for many years, so probably hundreds of students, probably not 1,000, but hundreds of students. Well, actually, there has been thousands who have taken my master classes, but individual one-on-one training, hundreds of students. And I can tell you that it will work. I can teach it, and you can learn it. So that's an answer to your question. My name is Evan Evans, and I'm known as Chart Trader across the different social platforms. So look me up and send me a private message, and I will give you like a lot of palette of options. There's, if you don't have any money, well, you can go a different route, and I will give you the links for that, and I can help you out for that. And some people will have to do a mix and match and go halfway, and or take it slower or whatever it is. But for somebody who is serious and has some of the resources in order to make it happen, I can have you up and running in 2 weeks. 5 private sessions, 1 hour every day, 5 days a week for 2 weeks, plus your training and practice in motion. You're not having to learn anything you don't already know. You're just having to learn how to convert the logic and reasoning that's inside your brain already into application of how I show you how to understand what there is from what you already know. So I know that this is not something that you don't have to reinvent anything. It's just reorienting and changing understanding, like pivot point trading and all that, higher lows and stuff like this. It's completely learnable. It's just logical. It makes, it'll make sense. So there you go. It is. It's not Evan. He says, is your middle name Evan? But here's the funny thing. It's not Evan, but it does start with E, and that's why our group is called E3 Trading Group. It's e3tradinggroup.com. You can go there and check it out, e3tradinggroup.com. Because my initials are EEE. And but it's not Evan. So I'll give you some time to guess. We'll see what happens. All right, CDXC. That's too bad that I got stopped out on that, but it looks like it is actually reclaiming off of that low, so I could possibly mitigate that exit a little bit, which is good. Right now, just looking at if anything is going bad on me, I'm going to look at GE for a second here. Yeah, GE is having a bad day. Let's go back to GE. GE has moved below my stop, and I will give it towards the end of the day because it is GE, and it's not having a panic sell-off. But it is hitting my stop, but it's not a panic sell-off, and it is GE, so I will watch it for the rest of the day. There's no emergencies going on, and I may make a decision whether to dump it or not. We'll see. RCAT's moving up a little bit from the pullback of yesterday. Yeah, a little bit of green there, green today. Hilton. Oh boy, I've got something moving a lot. What is that? Is that Apple? Could be Apple. Hilton. Might be Hilton. Let me take a look at this. Hilton. Oh, yeah, I just pulled it up over here. Okay, Hilton. Yeah, Hilton's pretty close to taking some profits up, but no, I'm up a lot on something. It might be this Tesla. It is Tesla. Okay, from my entry, Tesla has done well already today from our entry earlier this morning. So I'm going to take a little piece out, excuse me, there in the prop account. And then let's take a look at Bitcoin. I should probably pull this up while I'm doing that so you can kind of see what I'm doing with it every time I'm pulling these up. What is this we're looking at? That's Tesla. Let's look at Bitcoin. Yeah. I bought in over here and it moved all the way, up. I bought in at 98. And I've swung traded this a couple times. But 98 to 103, and I've taken some profits. It's definitely at a high point now. I'll probably take some more around 104,500 when it gets right up there in a few minutes. I think it probably will be there potentially. Microsoft's down from my entry just a smidge. GoDaddy, yeah, hit new highs. I think that might be what's doing it. I'm probably going to get a partial out on my portfolio as well, where I have some more GoDaddy. But I'm going to take a little piece out there on that GoDaddy, and there's another GoDaddy position here as well. Take a piece out there. I'm taking a little profits on strength. Facebook, which is Meta, and here it's under Facebook. All right, once it gets a little bit closer to those highs, 619 or so, I'll take a piece out on that. Apple doing well. I think I might have already taken a piece out up there. What was my last exit on Apple? Apple open close 244. Is that really what it was? That was it? 244? Okay. And where is it now? 243. So see, I already got a better price on Apple. So I would like to get only better prices when it comes to taking partials. And Hilton. Okay. So I'm going to keep watching those. That was the prop account. I'm up 3,400 on the prop account today. Now, let's go through smaller positions. CLS. See, this CLS is getting really close to potentially raising stop. If CLS breaks this high here, and because this is pretty mature by the time it does it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's 2 weeks. I may raise my stop to my break even. And when I do that, it'll allow me to either add some more when it does so that my risk is the same. So now I'm increasing size without increasing risk, or I'll simply just raise the stop, which actually would be to my break even. I would raise my stop to my break even. At that point, it would then be on a free roll. It'll be zero risk. So on CLS. So that'll be my choice when that comes. That'll be really interesting to see. It's coming soon, I think. In fact, I will put an alert to myself on that. Put it like 1 penny below the all-time high there. Template alert. When that comes, I'll know what to do with it. All right, CLS dash. So nice. What a move. Michael, are you still there? Not yet. What was that? Someone messaged me. Higgy? What? Oh, someone messaged you. Oh, that's why you deleted it. And Steven says, not yet. Yeah. E. The sound also a girl makes when seeing me. Okay. E. All right. Gav is getting close. Now, yeah, if Gav were to break out to a higher high at 357 here, I probably would raise my stop to 326. I think so. It's pretty safe because it's gone pretty horizontal. So we'll approach that when that happens. LX. Having a good continuation day today. Very nice. If it was a really strong day, like it moved up to 650 or something, if it was like a big green day like this, really strong day, I'd take out another piece of my profits. But I've already hit my 2 to 1. So we're simply sitting and waiting at the moment. But if we have a strong day, yeah, you should take out a little partial. I think Michael knows that. 40-second delay currently. Jesus, Michael. Okay. What was I going to say to you, Michael? I think it was something about a chart we were looking at. CLS, maybe? Yeah, I think it was about CLS. And this is one of those places where there's like 20% of discretion that I was talking about, 20% of subjective thinking, where it's not a base like this. Let's go back here where it's really obvious. Okay, there's a perfect W type of base going on here. And so Michael knows for sure that this would be a Cheetah G and Randy maybe too. And then breakout entry over here. And then pull back. And then this is absolutely an entry day right here at that moment with stop right here. And that this is a very clear stop level and a very clear and true stop level. But then when these things make a move, they'll do something like that where they move and then they come back down and then they keep going. In that moment right here, you don't know that it's going to keep going like that strongly. You don't know. And it's too short of a time period to be able to raise your stop to right there. Now later you could think about, yeah, I would like to raise my stop to there. But not during a rally. And so what we have here is we have a situation where we can't really decide. It's really hard to say. Because it's not long enough like this that we can confidently say, okay, I'm going to raise my stop to the last pivot. But it's also not short enough like this that we would say, okay, I'm not going to raise my stop. That was too short-lived of a basing period from here to here. It's too skinny, too little amount of time. But over here we have 2 weeks, so it's definitely in that gray zone, that subjective zone, whether or not I want to raise my stop here. And it's just going to be kind of like based on maybe even the way the market's going and politics and just the sort of weather, backdrop of the market, whether or not you think it's never going to come back to this level and tap it. It's hard to say, because what if it does break out and then it gets real testy? Maybe it has a strong sell-off, and it's like, well, shoot. The psychology is, shoot, if it can't get above this level, it's starting to struggle, then maybe that's the top. And so people start to sell, and then all of a sudden you find yourself experiencing a pullback like this one. Because what's it going to do? It's going to create a longer base like this one. And so then you're going to kick yourself for raising your stop here. And so it's quite subjective, because here you definitely don't want to, because this base is too short. But here with this 2-week base and the other bottom is so close to this bottom, the nice thing is you have basically a 4-week, a 1-month long base with all this. If you put it all together, you can kind of think of this as, a period of a month, And so this stop should be reasonable. That's solid. Like that we know after 2 weeks now, that's solid. So if I don't raise my stop here, it'll be because I just want to keep a solid stop and not really risk too much, and I want to try and stay in CLS because it's a monster runner. And I'd like to not get stopped out when a situation like this comes, where it goes into a base and tests the 200 moving average. Not all bases are W's, but all W's are bases? No, not quite. I've hit the live button twice now to resync. One of us are time traveling. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop the live now. I have a couple things to do. I'm going to keep going through positions. There's just hundreds. If you guys got anything you want me to look at, let me look at it. Oh, ESPR just alerted. This could be an entry. Okay, it broke. Oh, it came back down. Never mind. So anyway, it's been good. Let's move back into the Discord group and continue to keep each other abreast of all opportunities as this day progresses. There's going to be some. And watch your positions. And this is more of a take profiting type of day. Even Bitcoin's on the decline now. So that's what we expected. That's what I expected. All right. Have a good morning, everybody. And I'll see you back in the group. Take care.